Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi.
Hi, sup?
Hello.
Hey, how are you and your beautiful little faces?
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere,
It
Dan.
really will, won't it?
It really will.
Are you good? I feel like we've started something special, and I just want to do it loads of times. Which is fortunate because we're here right now to play another
Yeah.
episode of Explorers of Elsewhere.
Woo!
True. We'll keep doing it till the end of time.
We
Till
will.
the heat death of the
We
universe.
will.
Yeah.
So the universe ends in 19 weeks. Oh
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, you heard it
Sorry,
here
Keep
first.
going until you
spoilers.
perish. That's you, Watcher. You.
You.
So we started a brand new campaign last time. That was very fun. And we started to get to know like each other's characters, started to get to know some of the NPCs, ran into a small spot of bother along the way. So I reckon we can just kind of pick straight back up where we left off, right?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, we just won the fight against the bandits, yeah?
No, what I've got in my notes. The world has been broken and remade. Our civilizations are shattered, our people divided. Yet there are those who would rise up to challenge the encroaching darkness.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Sir Carmichael Comstock, a Lorivar Cavalier fighter.
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm playing Addy, a keeper druid bard.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Victor, a Lorivar Gloomstalker Ranger.
Hi, my name's Lane. I'm playing Milia Sayralast, an Asavar Divine Soul Sorcerer.
My name's Tim, and I'm playing Galena, the Terran Sprite Alchemist Artificer.
And my name is Dan. I will be the dungeon master on this adventure. Whilst our world has been changed, we band together. Hope bright in our hearts. We push forward to reclaim what was once ours, and we shall be known as the Explorers of Elsewhere. The formation of the Explorers of Elsewhere has been considered by some to be something short of a miracle, which some have pointed out is odd, considering gods fought among mortals across the lands no less than 1 year ago. Whilst many communities struggle to come to terms with the devastating effects of the eschaton, the first expeditions to rediscover the world of Elsewhere are beginning in earnest. One question which burns on explorers' minds: what happened to the world? How did the landscape settle as a result of the world spirit's regenerative powers? What is left? Who is left? In a world that was once so connected and unified, the mortals now find that everyone met is likely a stranger with their own mind-bending tales to tell. In a world of uncertainty, safety is one of the first casualties. Perhaps one of the first tasks for the explorers is to relearn who to trust. And so, we rejoin you on the side of a mountain, a narrow, perilous mountain path. Comstock and Addy, you have approached what appears to be a makeshift barricade, which is manned by a number of Lorivar, who you believe have an aggressive disposition. You've also heard a loud roaring coming from a nearby cave, and a very large furred beast has just come bounding out of the cave mouth onto a patch of slickened ground, thanks to one of Galena's concoctions. And so, if I could ask everyone to roll initiative.
Uh-oh.
Oh, exciting!
Be my pleasure.
the first initiative of a new season.
Oh, okay.
Well, technically not. We
Oh.
did have one last time, but this is the first proper initiative of a new season.
There it is.
Oh! Comstock coming out the gate
Oh.
strong with a nat 20.
Wow.
Well,
That
nat
caught me off
20.
guard.
East.
Hooray! Is that the first nat 20?
Yeah.
That is the first nat 20.
Yeah.
It is the first nat
Hey.
20. Hooray! There we go. And it's an initiative, no less. Cool. Okay, so
This
with
is going to be a good game.
the bandit captain takes a look, like a panicked look towards you all as this roar emanates out of the cave mouth. And in his confusion, he stops, kind of looking from Addy to Comstock and back. Going by the due to the inaction from their leader. The two bandits slightly further up on the mountainside, which have just emerged from snow dunes, kind of have their bows pulled taut, but they also don't fire. Comstock, what do you do?
This is going to be a very boring first round of combat at this moment, because I did not want to go first. Oh, it depends on the action economy. I think what I might end up doing is holding my action.
Hit with your sword, Carl.
Well, I don't, because if I run in and hit with the sword, I'm not close. I can't then get back close enough to, Addy if the two on the hill decide to pepper her with arrows. So I think I'm gonna. Can I at least sort of try and intimidate them into combat?
Sure. Roll me an intimidation check.
So Comstock starts banging on his shield. He's like, "Fight like men!" And that's, oh my god, really? That's 20.
Okay.
That's the second. Okay, I didn't roll a 20, but that's the second 20 I've gotten, as much as two rolls.
Okay, so you shout at the bandits ahead of you. Off the back of a 20, they snap their attention to you, and you see glances from one another to one another. Anything else, Comstock?
Yeah, in that case, if I have their attention, I'm going to take the dodge action, suitably renamed a defensive action.
Okay. Galina.
Hello.
So you are at the back, kind of just in front of the caravans. You've just heard, you felt the tremors, and the tremors are getting louder and louder as you kind of tune in to the earth around you. And there's more. This third Moor's just kind of emerged from the cave mouth as this bear kind of hurtles out of the cave. What do you do?
So it would seem. Let's see, how far am I from these punks? Okay, so that's within 60 foot as far as this goes. Is that the same sort of vertically?
It's
Or,
so they, from where you are, if you're aiming for the ones up top, we need to add about 40 feet. So they're more like 100. It's easy.
Add 40. Okay,
Yeah.
so
100 to 110 feet up.
all right.
The cave mouth is approximately 20 feet up. 50, yeah, say 20.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna blast this bear,
Okay.
I guess. Let's go with. Okay, I bet this bear has pretty bad constitution.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put some money on that, and I am going to just hit it with a poison spray. That's fine
Okay.
for now. Okay, so that is a DC 14 Constitution save.
Okay, so as this bear comes rolling out, it rolls a 20 on its con save.
That's too much. That is fine.
Does it? Okay.
No effect on save.
And what does your poison spray look like?
It's honestly pretty literal. Just take out a small canister with a nozzle attached to it, and it's got a little pump on the back, and I just go. and a spray of a sort of powdery gas just puffs up towards this furry bastard.
Poot. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sorry,
so-
I've just realised actually it only has a range of 10 feet, so I'll run up to below there so that I can do it.
Sure. Right, so yeah, you run up to the foot of the cave as you like squirt the like poison goop, like poison acid up. Nothing. It doesn't quite. the stronger winds kind of blow the poison away, and as you kind of look over your shoulder, you watch as it wafts perilously close to the caravan before kind of dissipating.
Ow, back!
Anything else, Galena?
No, I think that'll do.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm just going to hope for the best.
Sure.
Actually, from where I am,
Yes.
is there anything I can like use as some cover from those archers?
Where you are right now, it's kind of very craggy and rocky, and there are nooks that you're able, especially with your size, you're able to take cover from kind of shots from above.
Yes, please. Yeah, I'll just try and like scoot into the rock to get some cover.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're in cover there. That's cool. Okay, Milia, what do you do?
I'm gonna move up to about here.
Yeah, so the base of the cave
Yeah.
mouth.
Get some sort of cover from the archers up above.
Mhm.
Just hold my padlock in my hand. Just hold it close to my heart and turn the key and cast Bless
Okay.
on everyone on the party.
Very, very good. Okay, so what does that look like?
So what it looks like, it doesn't look like a lot. Her padlock kind of glows for a second. She turns the key and it stops glowing. But everyone around them, everyone who like gets affected by it, almost looks like they're being, you know, the effect when you see sunlight from behind and it very slightly like illuminates someone.
Mhm.
Everyone now kind of looks a bit like that, like they're being illuminated behind by sunlight.
Okay. So you're targeting your three companions. So yeah, as this light envelops them, and you kind of open your eyes, and kind of look around you, kind of take shelter against the cliff face. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Next up, so the two bandits behind the barricades, now having seen Comstock kind of rile up and kind of shield up, and then seeing this Terran sprite like squirt a puff of something at the bear. The two bandits stand, and the first one fires a crossbow for 18 against you. Oh no, wait, disadvantage. Because okay, 18 to hit against Comstock.
18 hits.
Okay, and the second one also fires at you. So that is a 15 from the second one.
Yep.
But the first one fires a shot, and it grazes past you for 2 damage.
Okie dokie.
The two bandits either flanking the bandit captain fire off these 2 shots, and that seems to snap the captain out of his kind of panic. Addy, you've just watched 2 of them fire crossbow bolts at Comstock. One of them seems to draw blood. What do you do?
Addy's actually probably more concerned about the fact that this poor bear has entered the fray, and could A, do a lot of damage to us, but also we could do a lot of damage to that bear, and it's kind of an innocent in all this. So Addy is actually going to turn round and try and cast animal friendship on the bear, to see if she can get the bear to calm down, and sort of become less aggressive, so that none of the rest of the party members attack.
Turn
the
against
animal.
your masters.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. What's the range on it?
It says a creature that you can see within range.
30 feet. Okie dokie. So you would. So give or take is about 20 foot up. So if we move you towards there, that'll be just about in range to cast it. As this bear, you can
Perfect.
feel you can hear the bear, you can feel the bear trampling its way towards you.
Yeah.
Uh,
As I sort of run backwards, I look at Comstock. I'm sorry, I just can't. And yeah, I'm gonna get closer to try and cast Animal Friendship.
Okay, yeah, if you cast that out. Very good. Okay, so Animal Friendship lets you convince the beast that you mean it no harm. If the beast's intelligence is succeed on a Wisdom saving throw. Okay. So DC 14. Whoop. So you hear this, echoing from the cave mouth, and as you run up, what does this look like?
I put my arms out and just, it's okay. I'm sorry. We don't mean you any harm. Like, I'm just trying to be comforting. I'm just trying to like de-escalate. Just like just making soft growling noise is in the back of my throat. Yeah, so trying to mimic the sound that a mother bear makes to her cubs.
Okay. Is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
On my turn, no.
Okay. In which case, as you do that, like the bear is roaring because it's mid charge. From the cave comes another bandit alongside the bear, who appears to have been running alongside it. And Galena, you recognize this as the second vibration that you had felt. Unfortunately for this bandit, he does not recognize the grease that you've cast on the front. So your grease spell is DC 16?
Let me have a look.
No, 14? DC 14.
14 be me.
14. Okay, so the bandit makes a save. Fails on an 11, and so with that, the bandit goes skimming over. He because he's full sprint, he just slides on the slickened ground. He goes tumbling the 20 feet down, so taking 2d6 damage. For 12 damage, and Malia, you let out a yelp as this bandit runs out. You hear a whoa! You see it, you feel a shadow pass over you, and then as this man falls in front of you, you hear a as his neck snaps against the ground, and 12 damage kills him.
Oh my gosh!
First blood in the campaign, it wasn't even us.
Okay. Okay, that's how this is gonna happen. Okay. Meanwhile, the brown bear, who's also mid-charge, hits the grease, and we all knew that was about to happen. DC 14. There's also a 3. There's also a 3.
I realised this might be a problem.
So the bear takes rolls, just it's on four paws, right? So manages to slow the majority of its momentum before it comes careening down. So Milia, you as this bandit breaks his neck in front of you, and then the man is just wha-bam landed on by a prone bear who just stubs a toe from the falling damage. If you want, okay, Addy, You feel like you've made a connect. You can feel the connection with this bear. You've also just watched this bear hurtle 20 foot down the side of a mountain. And like as the bear picks itself up, it turns and it looks to you all, and it's like it bares its teeth at Milia, at Galena, and yourself. And like you can see the corners of its lips quivering, and you as you stand there thinking, I do not know whether it's friendly or not anymore. Just in the confusion and the shock of a flying bear. But the bear looks to you all and begins growling. The bandit captain shouts out, they got Theoric! And like looking at this bandit that's just like slip and slided.
He got himself.
Slip and slid out of the cave.
Gravity's a bitch.
And the bandit captain shouts, fucking get him, lads! And he vaults the barricade and runs for you, Comstock. As he does, he draws a scimitar and a dagger, which he flips into a reverse grip, and he swings at you once, but you can't get through your defenses. Swings at you a second time, but 16, I believe, is a miss as well.
It's a miss,
and you
even with disadvantage.
Parry that with your blade, but then a dagger comes up from an unexpected angle and gets you.
Disadvantage.
That is with disadvantage.
Is it? Oh, son of a bitch. Keep lower.
Yeah, it was a 15 or a 20.
Yeah.
Okay, and this blade comes up into your side for 6 damage.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, and as the captain kind of gets you with the dagger and then takes a step back, he shouts to him and rain hell on them, boys! He shouts up to the bandits on the mountain. At that point, they begin shooting into the caravan, and you hear screams and like shouts of panic as the guards do their best to kind of shield themselves and those from the raining bow fire. Comstock, what do you do?
Comstock is at this point now tied down. He basically looks to the dagger that's just skimmed him, and lashes out with his longsword for 13.
That is a miss. So the bandit captain steps back and brings the 2 blades together to catch yours.
I see. Well, that's disappointing. I'm going to be inspired to try again. And again, as the first swing misses, he then comes. I have bless. I have bless.
You have bless.
Maybe
Hashtag
I
blessed.
don't need the action surge.
Okay, so 13 plus 4 is so that's a 17.
That's a 17, yeah.
Okay, in which case, as you lunge at the bandit captain, he brings his 2 blades up, but then this kind of divine warmth glows through your muscles, and you push through the parry, and you.
It's the sudden ray of sunlight behind me.
Yes. For
7.
7 damage. Okay.
And then, in that case, what I'll do as a bonus action is firstly I'll regain my action surge, as I'm not going to use it. And then an unwavering mark upon our friend here.
Okay. So, as you challenge this this bandit to combat, and because you can see the bandit kind of looking past you at the squishier targets behind you, but you kind of affix his gaze. Anything else?
No, on me. No, not for now. Like, I need to finish this guy off and get to my party members somehow.
Okay, Galena. First there was you and Malia. Now there is you, Malia, a corpse and a bear. What do you do?
Far as the crowd. I don't think I can get within 60 feet of those archers down here, so can I use mold earth to kind of make this bit of the cliff up to the cave like much more climbable, like a sort of earth ladder?
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. So press my hand into the side of the cliff. I'll summon my Heron sprite connection with the earth itself, and it just kind of shifts into almost like a climbing wall for kids,
Sure.
basically. And I'm gonna scurry on up to the cliffside, being careful on the grease, if that's okay.
Okay. So, let's say there. It'd be difficult terrain. So you can just go up and down it as if it were difficult terrain, fundamentally.
Okay.
So you're now in the
Great.
cave mouth, and like there's enough of a lip that you are completely covered from the archers above.
Good stuff.
But they in turn are only about 20 feet up. So
Sweet. Okay, I've used my action on mold earth. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will probably just drop prone and hang on there for a sec while I catch my breath.
sure. Okay, so for anyone else interested, there is now fundamentally a set of stairs going up the side of the mountainside. Okay, Milia. Bear.
Bear. Bear.
Don't mean to alarm anyone, but bear.
I'm gonna take the dodge action, and that's it.
Okay.
There is a giant bear that just dropped down in
There's
front of
a
me.
giant bear. Yes, fair enough. Okay, so you take the... you start dodging. The red bandits. So they can see the boss is now fighting with Comstock. So one of them takes aim at one of the squishier targets, and Addy, a crossbow bolt is fired in your direction. But he rolls on that one. So the next one along makes an attack. Rolls a 20 to hit. For 3 damage. As this bolt swings past and like grazes your leg.
Okay.
As in response, what do you do?
So yeah, I sort of wince a little as I sort of feel the arrow graze my leg. But all my attention's on this bear, and I'm going to attempt to speak with animals.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to roll before I?
As a real quick one, what's your passive perception? It is 13. Okay, yeah. You're casting Speak with Animals?
I am. So I think we have to make a wisdom saving throw.
No, with that one.
Oh no.
No, you can just speak bear.
Just go. Okay, so yeah, I speak bear, and I'm gonna try and speak simply and just say, "Danger, please run, don't fight.
Okay.
I don't want you to get hurt."
As you say this to the bear, like the bear turns and like looks to you, and like its eyes, you notice this like up close, the eyes are bloodshot, and there's a feeling like the bear just, unfortunately familiar, the bear kind of lifts itself up, lowers itself down to the ground and just like its cheeks flapping, drool flying out in your direction, and Addy, you recognize that what the bear says back to you is a roar of fear and pain. And with your passive perception of 13, it's at this point that you notice that along the bear's right flank are 3 grievous wounds. Like 3 deep gouges along its side that look relatively fresh. This bear, it would seem, is not actually in the best of shapes. But yeah, so you tell it to run and...
Yeah, just get out of here.
Okay.
Run away.
Okay. In which case, it turns and sees like the caravans to the south of it, and it just begins to charge past you. And Comstock, you're like barged out of the way by this bear as it runs past you. And the captain goes to step in the way. The bear rolls a 17 against the captain, which is a hit for 9 damage. So bites the captain as he puts his arm out, and you hear a slight crunch, and the bandit pulls his hand away, and his right hand is missing his little finger.
Ooh.
The bear then rears up and comes at you, and you have this odd deja vu feeling from approximately a year ago. You find yourself in the shadow of this great bear as it then brings its claws down, but the bandit captain manages to duck out the way, and this thing's just on its rear legs. And again, from where you are, you can see that you take a look at the claw marks. Well, they look like claw marks on its side, and you wonder what did it. It's something bigger than it. That was a bear. The bandit captain doesn't like this, disengages, and steps back and rolls back over the barricade. And the bear's gone feral, he shouts. He looks up to the mountaintop and the bear's gone feral, take it down, he shouts. And the archers on the mountaintop turn, look, and load crossbows. Getting a crit. And a 14, which is a hit. So
Comstock looks around to sort of like Addy, can see Addy's concern for the bear, and as he hears the thunk thunk, he pulls his shield up, soaking up 12 onto his shield like pung, pung.
Okay, so the crit does 13 damage. So the crossbow bolt shatters against your shield, and one of the flecks of wood lightly graze the bear for a point of damage. The blow kind of knocks you back enough that the second shot does 8 to the bear, but it kind of roars in pain as this arrow hits it in the chest. Comstock, what do you do?
He looks back to his party. Are we saving the bear?
I think Addy would shout back, just focus on the bandits.
At this point, then he's going to have to sort of like move back towards you guys to keep you safe, but I can't do it alone. And then he looks at the bear, is like, then again, I have a goddamn bear. Ah!
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So as you charge at the barricades, the bandits kind of drop into defensive positions. It is at this point, as you get to the barricades, Comstock, that you see kind of behind the barricades, against a rock on the ledge, on the edge of the mountain path, is Frinka, who appears to be she looks up to you, and she her mouth is gagged. You notice her ankles are tied. It looks like her wrists are probably tied behind her back. But she says, you approach, and she joins the initiative.
Shove the barricade as an attack.
You can.
Excellent.
Bless.
With bless, hashtag blessed. So should I just do a normal longsword attack or a straight? Yeah, okay. So he shoves the barricade for 19.
Okay. And the barricade.
Basically goes in with a shield. Just
So as you shield bash the barricade, and it's made up of barrels, broken like crates, planks of wood, and they just explode inwards, kind of knocking the bandits kind of aside as they bring their hands up to shield themselves.
Just Holy Avenger on in there.
yeah. Then actually using my action surge this time.
Yeah.
And then he takes a swing for the bandit leader for 15 plus 1d4.
19, that is a hit.
Excellent. Dealing 5 damage.
5 damage, okay. And the captain, as you kind of nick him across the chest.
And then I will also use Slasher to decrease his speed if he tries to get away.
Okay.
As he basically like slashes him across the down by the legs.
Sure. Okay. In which case, yeah, the captain kind of stops. Slows down as you come charging in, and he's just a bit dazed, confused. Anything else, Comstock?
I think I've done enough.
Okay. Galina, you have scaled the mountainside into the cave. You are approximately 35 feet away from the nearest archer, crossbowman.
Fantastic news. Yeah, so this whole time with kind of the berserk bear below, Galina's been kind of taking out a little flask and desperately trying to get this other little tiny vial out, puts a tiny drop of it into the other flask, and the transparent liquid in there just goes thick and black. And she gets ready to chuck it at the bear. And it's like, oh, okay, apparently it's on our side. So, waste not, whatnot. I will toss it at the closest archer.
Yeah.
Using Ray of Sickness.
Okay.
Needs to make a con save 14.
Con save 14. And he hella fails on a 5.
Certainly does. Right. 12 damage. If they're alive, they're poisoned.
I think they're dissolving, aren't they?
You kind of warm yourself up, and you as this vial leaves your hand. It's a beautiful arc, and it helps that the this sniper has just kind of stood up and taken a shot at the bear, and he turns to look just in time to see this vial like hit him in the face, and you can't see it because he kind of drops down to the ground, but you hear him begin to melt.
Sorry, lad, that was bear strength.
And yeah, he is no more. He's just a red puddle. Okay, anything else, Galina?
No, I'll just scoot into the mouth of the cave a little, just to sort of make sure that I'm out of harm's way.
Sure. Okay, Malia. The bear has run off. It's now got some crossbow. It's got a crossbow bolt sticking out of it. And Comstock's racking up some collateral damage. What do you do?
Okay. Be useful. She just takes a breath, calms herself down, shouts, Sir Comstock! Holds out the padlock. Again, turns the key.
Mm-hmm.
Not with one eye, because you've got one book in one. Turns it like that. The bless dissipates from everyone.
Okay.
But there is now a very, almost like Aurora Borealis of sunlight around Comstock as I cast Shield of Faith.
Okay.
Quicken spell.
Okay.
So I do it as a bonus action. And then I go immediately back to dodging, because I'm still really scared.
That's a what, +4 to my AC?
+2.
+2. What am I?
Dodging. Okay, very, very good. So Comstock. Well, actually, Lane, what does the Shield of Faith look like?
It's almost like an aurora borealis, just like made out of sunlight and like a very faint sort of crystalline cosmic sort of like underlay / overlay onion skin onto it.
Okay. In which case, so as you cast that spell on Comstock, the two bandits, well, the two other bandits in front of you, Comstock, like take a look at one another, and then they go leaping over their barricades to engage you as well. One of them brings up a cutlass. You're not thingy, you're just high AC.
Oh, son of a bitch.
22 to hit.
Yes.
Inspired. The second one though doesn't have a good time with it. Okay, so 22 and a 4. The one that hits you deals 7 damage. As they kind of pack tactics you. Addy, what do you do?
Okay, I am seeing that Comstock's in a bit of trouble, so I'm going to make my way up towards him, but I can only move for 30 feet. As I move past the bear, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on him, her, it. And then, as I'm running up, I'm going to shout at the leader of the banditry. I've seen more intimidating bunnies than you, and cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay, amazing. So if you do your Healing Word, as you move, so you're moving up 30, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so if you roll like your Healing Word. And then how much does that?
Has that done it?
How much does that heal for?
Yep.
4 healing.
Great.
Okay. What do you like? What does your Healing Word look like? If it looks like anything.
As I speak the healing words, which will be sort of, it's not a word as it is more of a whisper or a muttering of wind, and you just see this sort of almost like ghostly breath sort of emanate from my mouth and sort of dissipate like fog over the tears in the bear's side.
Okay, so you see that like the graze and the wounds from the crossbow bolts, they begin to close. You notice the gouge on the side doesn't. And then if you then do your Vicious Mockery.
Vicious Mockery. Oh, that one worked.
That one worked, and then the bandit captain rolls a 15, so passes. Unfortunately, he is too busy being pummeled by Comstock. Meanwhile, in the background, Frinka is wriggling against her binds, but still isn't able to get free. The brown bear, like you've just healed it, Addy, and it kind of drops down onto all fours, and looks up at the remaining crossbowmen and just growls. It lets out a roar, but the bandits seem surprisingly unfazed. The bandit captain. The bandit captain takes a look at what's happening, looks around and, fuck this, he says, and disengages. But as he does, like he goes to put weight on his leg that you kind of nicked at, Comstock, and he staggers a bit as he can only move 20 feet. But he's disengaged, he's moved, and then, yeah, he just appears to be making a prick for it. And the two other bandits that have just kind of dogpiled into you, just kind of, one of them glances over his shoulder and, boss, he says as he sees the captain kind of starts to do a runner. The one remaining bandit, also seeing the captain run, makes... wonders what on earth's doing. Also notices the bear eyeing him up and just goes to hide, but just like ducks down. But you can all hear him going, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!" Completely giving away his position. Comstock.
He's going to go for the bandit that's directly in front of him. For a.
Okay, so you go to like jab at this bandit, but his companion kind of reaches out and bam, knocks your arm away, and the blow goes wide. They are not fighting honorably. This is infuriating. Anything else, Comstock?
Yeah, I will. He'll basically like look like he's tiring, and then suddenly just takes this big deep breath and just. I can do this all day.
Okay, so as you second wind and regain 12 hit points.
Yep.
Very good.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay, Galena, you can hear one of the the snipers above trying to be quiet. You've from your vantage point, you can see that the bandit captain's making a run for it. What do you do?
Okay, I've not got much decent long range stuff left, so I think she's just gonna run to the cliff edge, stare at it for a second and be like, okay, here we go. And I'm gonna try and slide down it without breaking an ankle.
Okay.
If possible.
Give me an acrobatics check.
Right. Well,
12. That is fine. And you slide all the way down. You've got so you reach the bottom, like you manage to stay on your bum the whole way down. The pebbles kind of come down with you, and like
nice.
You land on your feet and you're already kind of back up. So you've got 5 foot left.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just sort of sprawl along at the bottom a little bit, but I'm all right. Kind of roll back up onto my feet, mostly by luck. And I think I'll just dash up.
Yeah.
To be next to Addy.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Scurry up next to you, like, what's the deal with this bear then?
The bear.
There's something not right with him.
The bear looks to you.
No, really?
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's me, thanks.
Okay. Milia.
Move up very cautiously. When you healed the bear, it stopped attacking us. Should I also? Directly asking the group.
Yeah, I'd say focus on the bandits.
I don't.
The bears. There's something wrong with the bear. I don't know, but I don't think it'll attack us. As long as we don't attack it.
Okay. Come up to just behind here, so I've still got cover, and I'm gonna take the key out of the padlock and just hold it out, and in case anyone tries to attack, if a hostile move is made against anyone, I will ready firebolt.
Okay. Very, very good.
Holding the key out, like.
In which case, as you kind of run up and prepare that, the 2 bandits take a look at the boss running, and they decide to stick it out a little bit for some reason. So they kind of nod to one another, and one of them leaps. One of them leaps for your top half, Comstock, for 16.
Nope.
And you
Firebolt.
Okay. So he leaps, you catch him with your shield, and as you throw him back, fireball, yeah.
Nope.
Okay. This fight comes up. You watches this fireball like arcs overhead. The second one goes for you.
I imagine it lands just by like Frinker's speech. So.
Yes. The second one goes low for 5, and you like kick him in the head. to keep him away. Addy, what do you do?
Okay, I want to get one of those bandits away from Comstock, so I'm going to, as a bonus action first, I'm going to imbue my quarterstaff with shillelagh. So Addy holds this. It's sort of half staff, half very rudimentary spear, and it's just full of little trinkets and bits of moss and dried flowers. And as she holds it in front of her and puts one hand over the top, you see the dried flowers start to almost come alive, back alive, and the moss sort of glows a brighter green as she imbues this energy into it. And then she's going to cast Thorn Whip at the bandit sort of closest to her on the left-hand side of Comstock.
Okay. In which case, yeah, roll me to hit.
So that's a 15 to attack.
Okay, so you, how does your Thorn Whip do? Like, are you casting it from your hands? Does it come from your staff, or your spear, or?
I'd say it comes directly from the sort of almost dried wooden vine-like bracelets that Addy has around her wrist.
Okay.
It sort of, again, sort of the end of it sort of greenifies and shoots forth.
Okay. In which case, the vines wrap round the bandit's torso, and there's a look of surprise as he looks over in your direction. There's a as he gets wrenched towards you. Roll me the damage.
Yep.
A
6.
full 6 damage. And you pull him towards you, and as the vines kind of unwrap around him, the bandit's momentum doesn't stop him in time for him to not boom smack into the side of the bear. Anything else, Addy?
No, I can't do anything else at the moment.
Okay. In which case, on her turn, Frinka.
No!
Frinka!
She rolls a 9 to get free. Whoever tied these ropes did a damn good job. Right, but in other news, the bandit you've just wrenched into a bear. The bear turns round and okay, so it snarls. You can see like its cheeks rippling, Addy and Milia. It then opens its mouth wide and it takes a chunk. It bites deep into the neck of the bandit. You hear it kind of screams as the bear lifts, goes back onto his hind legs, starts swinging this guy around, and then yeets him over the edge of the cliff.
Yes.
And the bear starts kind of yolloping towards you, Comstock, and the bandit you're fighting. At this point, the bandit captain, no, and he disappeared. You see, he just kind of disappears off down the road. He's gone. The one up top on the mountain, oh shit! Oh no! You see, there's as he desperately tries to run across the snow tops on this kind of mountain top. And Comstock, you are left facing one final bandit.
I am going to do something a little bit odd here, but I want to try and grapple with him.
Yeah.
Less sort of actually trying to grab him, but more trying to control where he moves with his shield.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that is athletics for a 14.
And he will do a acrobatics to try and worm his way out.
Son of a bitch.
So you go to grab for him. He's clearly not washed for a while. He's quite greasy. But he just manages to, he uses the barrels in between you to get out of your way. But yeah, as you circle round to cut him off.
Yep, that will be my turn.
Okay.
I was disappointed. I wanted to throw him off the cliff.
At which point, Galena.
Okay.
What are you doing, you little psychopath?
Just about get back to my feet in the dust. Keep just swearing vividly as I continue running forward. I will duck through the bear's legs
Yeah.
and hope it doesn't try and kill me in the process.
No, it looks down as you like tickle the underside of his belly.
Scurry on through. I think I probably take an attack from the bandit
Okay.
on the way past.
The bandit
Just try and duck it.
will take a swing at you for a 21 to hit.
Oh, that's gonna
no.
hit. That will hit me.
That will
Yes.
hit. If only someone could protect her.
There we go.
Okay.
As long as you stepped
Hey.
there, as long as you stepped. Like,
Amazing.
So
Yeah, I definitely did.
in which case,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Comstock, as you as Galena like runs past, this bandit goes to kind of lashes out at the Terran sprite as she runs past, but you like bring your shield up and parry the blow away.
I got you.
Nice.
I got you, Kalina.
Right. So I'm going to pull out something that looks kind of like halfway between a dagger and a surgical scalpel. And say, "Hold still now, dear," and just go for the ropes and try and cut her hands free.
Okay, so using your action, you managed to cut Frinka free. She's probably back in the game now. Anything else, Galena?
Nah, cool. A job well done.
Okay, Milia.
Oh no. Same again. Firebolt.
Okay.
But I'm actually just gonna fire it off this time.
Yeah. Okay, at the final bandit.
Yep. 12.
Okay. So as you, so this bandit's just kind of lashed out. Comstock, you've kind of parried the attack away, protecting Galena in the process. The bandit kind of steps out and "You'll never take me alive," he says, just as his firebolt wham smacks him in the back of the head. Roll for
And
damage.
it's just, you know how like flare guns look? It's just like that, but like a white sort of flare.
Yeah.
Because that is 3 damage.
There's this bright burst of hot light as it rocks forward from this thing that's just clapped him in the back of the head. And he kind of staggers and looks a bit shocked. And kind of looks, "What the fuck?" Like looks over at you, Amelia, and like as he looks back, Comstock, Galena, you can see that there's this fear in his eyes. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. In which case, the bandit, realizing that his boss is long gone, all his mates are either dead or also gone to the wind. So he will just, "Oh no, I've had enough of this." He will disengage, and then he makes it, like begins just running down off the road with steam, like smoke coming off the back of his head. And the lot of so Comstock, Galena, as you watch as these bandits just disappear off like dust clouds pluming out from their feet as they run off into the distance. A Frinka slowly stands up alongside you, like rubbing her wrists like in irritation, and she looks like you handled yourself quite nicely, she says, as she kind of rubs the rope burn away. And as you watch the bandits disappear and you begin to reconvene, I reckon it's time to grab a quick break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Right. I'll see.
Enjoy the stinger.
I'll see you all in a bit.
See you
Enjoy the
soon.
stinger, said the scorpion.
Bye.
The only thing we subscribe to in the forest is the ways of the Farash.
Yeah, sure. I appreciate that.
But I've been told elsewhere needs likes and it needs subscriptions.
Yes, very, very much so. In fact.
Apparently, there's a ritual with a bell.
Yeah. The notification bell. Yeah.
Well, try anything once, me.
Right. Good to know. Thanks. Welcome back, everybody. Hi.
Hey.
It's a pleasure to be here.
didn't die.
We're still
You
alive.
didn't. Yes.
At least physically, we're still alive.
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
Yes, you made it out of your first combat in one piece. So yeah, congrats. So let's just kind of, well, let's just pick straight back up. So, we rejoin the explorers a short while after the mountain pass, and as you're kind of traveling along, you're kind of mulling over everything that's just been kind of happening, that's happened recently. In the immediate aftermath of that battle, Milia, what did you do?
Immediately ran up to Frinka, pushing past her, like, "Oh my god, are you okay?"
Hey,
The Frinka just looks to you and, yes, I'm fine, thank you. I just feel a bit embarrassed to have been ambushed by such schmucks, she says as she looks at the bear tamer with a broken neck, just from in the direction that you've just run from. I thought they needed some help, but then they jumped me when they found out that I was part of the caravan.
Offering help is nothing to be ashamed of. Come on, let's get you up. Just hold out an arm for her.
And Frinka takes it, and it's a very like, her hands are kind of strong and rough from all of the outdoors womanship that she does as she like pulls herself up off
And
the
cast Cure Wounds on her as I'm pulling her up.
Okay. In which case she nods and thank you, she says. And she kind of looks at the rest of you and is everything okay with the caravan?
Yes.
that's a good question. Heard some
think-
shots going back there.
Frinka kind of looks concerned, and I did see that there were some shots fired into the caravan. Excuse me, I need to go check, she says. She kind of looks you all in turn, gives you nods, like her eye lingers on you for a while, Malia. She kind of gives you this ever so slight smile, and then she kind of dashes off past you, and she stops. Actually, she takes a few steps and stops and goes, "Is the bear ours now?"
That is a good question. Addy?
As Frinka makes a noise to herself, and that question kind of lingers in the air, Comstock, as you turn to look at Addy. Addy, a short way down the path, having left this kind of mountain pass, what did happen with the bear?
I think immediately Addy would have gone up and, while still under the sort of effects of speak with animals, I would have taken notice of those large gouges in the side that wouldn't respond to the healing word, and ask directly, what happened to you?
Yeah, as you address the bear, now that the excitement has had begun to calm down, the bear seems a lot more kind of deflated and scared. Like the bear's head kind of snaps to you and instinctively lets out a growl as you approach, giving you a moment to giving you reason to pause for a moment. But the snarl disappears as it recognizes you. "Great beast," says the bear. In response, everyone, you hear the bear growling, but Addy, you understand it to be saying, "Great beast, sharp claws, not." And the bear struggles to think for a moment. It's almost as if it's struggling to kind of formulate the thought in its mind. "Not right," it says.
Where?
the bear kind of huffs and kind of swings its head over in the direction that you're heading, like further along the path, and it kind of lets out this low rumbling growl.
Thank you. I'm sorry. And gesture to the sort of claw marks. What can I do for you?
The bear looks to you for a moment and hungry, very hungry.
Okay. Can I give some of my rations?
Yes.
In fact, actually, can I produce some good berries?
Yes.
Oh.
Get that out of the way.
Okay. So as you
Nice.
cast, what do your good berries look like?
I'm gonna say from the staff, I mentioned earlier that there's some sort of hanging dried flowers, and one of the things hanging is, it looks almost like a dried pea pod.
Okay.
And as I touch it and cast Goodberry, it sort of springs to life, and you can see the sort of the life and the greenness sort of seeping back in, and it opens, and then these sort of, they just look like really plump peas, but quite large, about the size of, I don't know, maybe like a large marble.
Okay.
And they're sort of slightly glowing.
Okay. In which case, as you produce them and sort of like 10 appear in the palm of your hand, the bear sniffs them, and you can feel like the hot air rushing across your palm, and then sniffs them once, sniffs them twice, and then you kind of have a little bit of a shock as the bear just like the tongue comes out and just like gathers up all 10 of them, and the bear just devours them all completely. All 10 of your berries.
That's okay.
For bears do not know finesse or sharing, evidently. And like the bear just, and there's a sloshing as it just kind of chomps on this, like a sloshing, crunching sound as it eats these peas. And you will watch as this bear just kind of fell back onto its hindquarters and just sat there, like sat down.
What's going on?
And Addy, as you... Oh, sorry, go on, come
After you.
in which case, Addy, as you remember that memory of the bear just kind of sat down looking surprisingly content, as it kind of leant to look at its shoulder and just with its mouth just kind of pulled the crossbow bolt out of its chest. You... Whereabouts in the caravan is it?
Oh, okay. I'd say probably walking alongside me, and I'm sort of nonchalantly sort of twisting my fingers through the sort of haunch of its, the hair on the haunch of its shoulder.
Okay.
And kind of conversing, making small growling bear noises.
Sure. Okay. In which case, from over your shoulder, you can just about every so often you pick up hints of a conversation, and it sounds something along the lines of, "No, I mean, all I'm saying is, we could make armor for the bear." "Yeah, I know, but it'd be quite a lot of metal. I mean, it's quite a big. Yeah, but I mean, how many times have you seen an armored bear? Come on." "Yeah, I suppose you're right. We could cover it in spikes." And you just kind of glance over your shoulder to the two goblins that are just kind of peering out the side of their caravan, watching you walk alongside this bear, and they disappear as they as you peer back at them. You carried on a bit further, like a bit further on down the road. The sun like the path thankfully seems to have widened out as you kind of come round the side of the mountain. Comstock, what did you do in the immediate aftermath, or who are you picking up with after the battle?
How far after the battle are we now?
So it's approximately maybe a couple of hours, an hour or so.
I imagine Comstock's taking a break, and he's driving the lead caravan, so he's sitting down because he can control wagons and things. He's actually quite good at it. So he's sitting down, having a break on the lead caravan, driving it. So if there's anyone up with him, I'll converge with them.
So sat on the other side of the cart driver's seat, because obviously you're facing forward, but there's a seat inside the cart that's facing, so you're back to back, with Davindram, and you've been rolling your eyes potentially for the last however long, because Davin's, I've never actually been this far away from anywhere actually. I mean, I must admit, I'm very surprised that we've had a road to travel along. I mean, I was expecting that it'd all just be kind of rugged wilderness. I didn't actually know how the caravans were going to cope with all of the rumbly bumbly. But I mean, I think we're quite fortunate that we've had a road. I mean, around a mountain as well. I think taking this high path has definitely saved us some time.
Comstock doesn't roll his eye because doing so would lose focus on what he's looking at. So he's just focusing ahead with just the occasional twitch, because preventing the rolling of it. But there are natural paths that exist, so don't worry about it. It's this isn't unusual or anything special. Sometimes a path is carved from wind or water.
Oh, I mean, for sure. I was just expecting the whole journey to be a bit more, a bit more perilous, I guess. I mean, I must admit, I just can't say we've seen anything all that out of the ordinary, really. I can't say that I've done a lot of traveling. I suppose you might have seen quite a lot before the whole. Before the war, but because I'm not saying that you're old, Sir Comstock. Absolutely not. I'm just saying that you look travelled.
It's just a very politer way of saying old, but no, you're right. I've seen my fair share of summers, so I'm seasoned, so to speak.
Davin you hear him kind of let out this almost contented kind of sigh from the other side of the cart kind of awning, and then his head pokes out next to you, and he kind of leans forward enough that he can see you and you can see him from the vision field of your helmet. He sort of looks at you and I do hope we see something fun soon, he says. And as he
wasn't fun enough.
Well, I didn't really get to see them much. Haladradis kind of kept me. Anyway, mind up, there's a sharp turn coming up ahead, he says. And
yes, I may have one eye, Draven, but I can still see.
And sure enough, the turn up ahead is almost hairpin, kind of to the right, around a jut from the mountain.
Draven, would you mind telling me which way? Is this left or right? My depth perception isn't very good, obviously, only having one eye.
Yeah,
he says with a
definitely a
right. Right, okay. Left it is then.
As you kind of slow the cart down and kind of edge it around this turn, you realise that for all intents and purposes, you've almost kind of come round a sharp kind of jutting point on the mountainside. The road begins to widen out as you come round the hairpin, which makes it easier to get the cart round, especially this larger lead one. But as you kind of hear Davin kind of going, "Oh, careful! You're almost at the edge." Oh, Comstock, you look up, and your eye is kind of drawn up the side of the mountain now that you've kind of crested around the corner, and you realize the mountain kind of stretches out in front of you, kind of bows back a little bit to the left, so you're almost kind of in a curve. And the best way to describe it is that the mountainside has been scooped away. Where it meets the ground, there is almost cratered, and hovering in air are chunks of floating rock, almost as if this half of the mountain has been gouged out.
Comstock reaches round and do you remember that scene in Jurassic Park where like he grabs Ellie Sattler's head and turns it so she looks at the dinosaur? I imagine like Comstock's like trying to like grab Davin, and when he finds him, obviously because he's on his good side or his bad side, just like grabs him and just pulls his head round like what?
And you realize like the widening path is partly due to the fact that this mountain, which presumably was once triangular shaped, now is almost crescent moon shaped, and you've just come around the side of it. The widening path is partly due to the scooping, but Davin looks up and, by Aya's grace, he says as he looks, and you watch as the floating rocks just kind of gently kind of list past each other. They kind of get so far before kind of being pulled back, almost as if they're caught in some sort of tiny, gentle orbit. And as you look up and see this kind of magical phenomena, the cart kind of naturally has to start going down the side of this kind of gouged out part of the mountain towards what appear to be like plains on the other side. What presumably your journey is now significantly shorter for the fact that you can now just go down the side of the mountain. And as you kind of look, you can hear gasps from others on the caravan as they all slowly kind of trickle around the hairpin turn as well.
It seems elsewhere isn't quite how we left her, is she?
Davin looks up and like his eyes are wide and almost slightly glistening, and it really isn't, Sir Comstock. It really isn't. And as the shadows from the floating rocks kind of passed over the caravan, you managed to make it to the base of the mountain and kind of out of the crater on the other side. And the road is now, well, the journey is now significantly easier now that you're on flatter plains. Galena, as the sun begins to set and Haladradis kind of pokes her head out of the back of the lee cart and be on the lookout for places to stay for the night. We will make camp soon, she says, and disappears. What is it that you're doing in the aftermath of the battle and seeing half a mountain vanished?
Probably took me a while to see it because I've been trying as little as possible to look at how high up we are at the moment.
Sure.
But after hearing all of the kerfuffle and just, oh, by Dust's hammer, what is going on with the world? Can I see if have I ever encountered anything like this before? Do I have any theories about what's caused this apart from just general chaos?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Arcana.
Oh,
it's a healthy 23.
23. Okay.
Nice.
You remember as you were kind of sat facing backwards out of the cart, so you're kind of watching it as you trundle away, and you can just hear all of the like the gasps and the whispers and the murmurings from all of the other like caravan occupants. But you're able to look up and you immediately kind of go, oh right, well that's clearly part of the elemental confluxes. So as a result of the clashing of the magics, the divine and the arcanes, it was weakening the barriers between reality and the elemental planes. So clearly here, some sort of devastating force has wrenched the side of the mountain off, and then there's clearly kind of motes and pockets of elemental air which have transmuted these rocks, which are now making them float. But something's clearly there must be some sort of kind of center point, some black hole that's they're kind of
I'm just,
keeping them in place.
Excitedly explaining all of this to Frinka, who does not care at all, probably. Has no idea what I'm going on about.
Like Frinka is kind of looking at you curiously, and then kind of looking from you to the rocks to you to the rocks, and like as you kind of explaining it, and like what do you? Is for you? Is it just like a science thing, almost?
Yeah, of course it is. Magic is science. We just haven't figured it all out yet.
Sure. In which case, like Frinka kind of chuckles and looks up at the rocks as they kind of get smaller and smaller, because you've been talking scientifically for quite a while, and she
A lot of theories.
Where I am from, we have a much simpler word for things like this.
All right.
We call it beautiful.
I like to think there's something about the complexity of interactions, of gravity and of magic in the understanding itself that is beautiful.
Frinka nods, and I feel slightly in awe of you. You are intelligent and clever. You can understand all of the things about magic and everything. I cannot understand it, but I think sometimes I'm glad I don't. It makes it easier to understand it, I guess.
Yeah. Don't you worry about it, Frankie. Not many people can understand it quite on this kind of level, But if it's any consolation, put me in the woods for about 10 minutes, I'd probably be dead. So, we all got things we're good at,
Frinka kind of laughs and, not on my watch, little one. Not on my watch.
Oh, one other thing I will have been keeping a careful eye out for as we go along, given the major interaction of mineralogy and magic here.
Yes.
Is there any of what I'm looking for around here?
So, potentially, while you've been lecturing Frinka, you've been kind of scanning backwards and forwards. And it kind of... You puff out... Well, you can't help but feel that kind of sorrow, kind of languish in your gut, as whilst the phenomena of these floating rocks is fantastic and kind of awe-inspiring, you can't see any of the glassy like glints that you're looking for.
Well, on to the next day, eh?
Frinka nods. Yes. I'm not sure what it is we're going to be having for food tonight. And she kind of peers around the side of the cart. I don't know if we're supposed to be feeding that bear or not.
I think Addie said she had it in hand somehow. Some kind of like wild spirit thing.
Huh. Frinka shrugs and kind of drops out the back of the cart. And I'm going to go stretch my legs. Keep being clever girl, she says as she
Can't help it.
As she strides off. Another short amount of time passes, and the sun, like the sky has now kind of gone orangey, like hues of orange and like magenta as the sun begins to crest over the horizon. You, through Frinker's efforts, you've managed to find a clearing, like a secluded wooded clearing that you're able to set up a camp in. And just as you've done many times before, you have, like, the caravans are kind of brought round and arranged in a defensive circle. The temporary stables are erected in the center of the camp, and like the awnings and tents are put up. And by the it's now become a very quick and efficient thing for you to do. So much so that by the time nightfall arrives, the camp is ready and the fires are lit. And with a very peculiar day behind you, you find yourselves kind of gathered around a campfire. One of the campfires in the camp. Halidrades wasn't happy with letting the bear be in the camp, so the bear's kind of lurking nearby. So arrayed around you are the caravans. The caravan guards are posted at 8 points around them, keeping a watch out, and kind of campfires have been set up in the perimeter around the camp as well, to give you advance warning. It's all very procedural. I mean, you've done this a number of times now, but as you kind of listen to the crackling fire in front of you, you can hear the kind of light chatter of the other expeditioneers. So as you, like, behind you, you can hear the occasional kind of snort and huff of the horses as they graze on their feed. Addy, like, this is your first kind of proper chance to sit down and kind of be with your companions. So, yeah, what is it that you've seen from today that's on your mind?
Addy has got her her notebook, which is this very crudely made parchment bound in what looks like sort of dried, cured leaves that have been sort of pressed together with some sort of sap.
Sure.
And to start with, she is writing away the day's events and putting pen to paper, and there's something almost ritualistic about the rhythm of the pen against paper as she works through the prose. And then she kind of looks up, and you can see her eyes have almost got this trance-like glaze to them. You know, she's not quite there, she's somewhere else.
Okay. As you sit quietly, you hear the sound of approaching feet as one of the caravan guards approaches. And as he kind of approaches the four of you, he kind of stands off to the side of you, Comstock, for a moment, not really saying anything, and then realizes that he's stood on your blind side and just kind of shuffles around a bit further, so you can see him, and you recognize him as the guard that's slipped off the ledge on the mountain path earlier today.
What did I name it? Gary? Oh, no.
He nods to you as you look up to him, and your eye belays the fact that you're struggling to remember his name.
Oh, don't do that. That's
he
a
nods.
Carl thing, not a Comstock thing.
He nods to you, and I wanted to thank you again for what you did today. And he hands you a flagon that's heavy to hold for the ale, you assume, that's in it. I didn't have much to do with the war when I'd never think that I would be needed in a fight between gods. But I guess people like you, brave people like you, were exactly the ones that Aya and the others needed. So again, I thank you. I wish I could have done more.
Don't be stupid, lad.
Well, it's one thing to feel helpless when deities are fighting deities and slinging and cities are leveled with spells, but when I watched the sky catch fire, that was the true meaning of helplessness. So sorry, I'm getting all introspective. It's been a rough day, but
How's for us all, but don't beat yourself up about it. We all make mistakes. And as he takes off his helmet, his very bad helmet hair is visible, but on the side of where his patch is also half his ears gone. He has like a long scar that just runs across his head. And as he puts his helmet in his lap, it's like, some mistakes are more costly than others. So, just be thankful you're alive. And I'm very happy to have someone like you on our expedition.
As you do that and like show the scar off, you see probably like from your eye, like yeah, it would be on your like normal eye. Milia, you see Milia pull up her scarf more.
the caravan guard. Well, it looks at you, Comstock, and please don't feel obliged to answer, but where were you when the eschaton started?
You can see Comstock think about it for a moment, and then he looks at the drink, and first he thanks him for it, and then starts drinking it, and doesn't stop until it's empty before. I was in Hugelstadt. I was part of the military there. We were being besieged for months. And then they got one lucky break and pulled down the main gate, and we were holding for days and days, and then the fire broke out above us, just the sky tearing itself to pieces. Parts of the city were on fire. People were dead everywhere. Most of my division were dead. It was like a handful of us keeping going. And I'd already lost the eye and ear by that point. I was fighting with blood running down my face. It was almost all over. I took another grievous wound to the side, or at least what I thought it would have been. And just as I was watching the world collapse around me, thunder, lightning, just something terrified them. And I could see there a moment of just
a chance. And we rallied. And they were breaking. They were terrified of something. But we pushed them back. It wasn't too difficult. They were fleeing at that point, and that's when I turned around and I saw it. All its glory, beauty, majesty. God. God of Elsewhere herself. I lost consciousness after that. So while most of the Ekerton was going on, I was in and out of death. The only thing I could see was thunder, lightning, the shape of a great bear. When I came to, it was all over. It was done. The world was still messed up, but the sky wasn't on fire anymore. My face was on fire, I can tell you that.
Comstock. What were the last words you said to your commanding officer as she saved you, pulled you from the wreckage, pulled you from the carnage? What were your last words to her?
Krugerstadt must hold. And then I saw it. I think the last words I uttered before I fell into unconsciousness was, "My gods."
Okay. The caravan guard looks quite shaken by your recounting. And shakily he kind of looks up to the rest of you. And who wants to... Malia, you're closest to him. He looks to you. Well, what about you? What did you see?
I was just a locksmith in the city of Glasmere. And I remember it so vividly. One day it was raining and it suddenly stopped. And the water was frozen in the air. Like time itself had stopped. And then, confused, all of us looked up, and the rain, the sky was the sea. And it just kept getting worse. And as it kept getting worse, I'm sorry.
The guard steps in, and it's okay. If you don't have to carry on if you don't want to.
And he pulls the scarf up a bit further again.
It looks like you're in safe company here. The tome is that of all that's left of your before, and he gestures to the book that you're clutching tightly to your chest.
That none of the party, ever since seeing me for the first time, have ever seen me without. At any point of the day. It's I mean, you've heard of who I am and what fate the gods chose for me, and this is part of that. That's what I want to believe.
The guard nods, and not wanting to kind of pressure any further, his eye kind of scoops round to Galena. He peers at you over the campfire that you're kind of sat around. How did you fare, my little sprite friend?
Since the start of the conversation, really, when Comstock was talking about how some mistakes can be bigger than others, Galena has just been kind of staring unfocused into the flames for a few minutes, and when she's addressed directly, she kind of shakes her head a little and, I was at home working on a very important project. I think I might have actually had it that time. Not sure. But either way, doesn't matter. Me little hut in the swamp was, well, one minute it was a hut, and then the next it was a collection of timber and bottles and me swirling. The land itself, the swamp, was tearing itself away. Don't reckon it lasted too long, but then I saw that almost like an aurora. I don't know if they affect something in the atmosphere or if it's just the magical fluctuations, but that serpent tearing across the sky. Last thing I remembered, and then back in, well, what remained of me hut, some little well, more of a ruin by then, and in the middle of a city I never seen before in my life. So yeah, strange day all told, but honestly, given what I've heard a lot of people, got away all right. Yeah.
The guard looked shocked, and I'd heard there were people being Haldradis uses a word translocated. I moved.
Well,
moved.
it's not strictly so much that the people are being translocated. It's more that there's kind of a folding of. Imagine that the whole world was written on a piece of paper, and you crumpled that piece of paper all the way up. You get lots of different parts of it touching other parts, and you can kind of slip from one to the other. And now I'm here, and I don't like it much, but I didn't like where I was much before, so same old really. And now at least I got people to complain to.
The guard kind of stops you for a moment, and but do you know where home is?
So what about you, lad? What happened to you?
I was a courier. And I remember when the sky tore open, and I remember laughing at all of the doomsayers, thinking that they were just trying to peddle some sick, twisted fantasy. But I know magic's amazing, but I never thought it would look like that. I got home and I found my family, my my little boy. They've been turned to stone.
I'm sorry.
No one really knew what to do. No one knew what we could do, and it seemed that everyone in the area had been petrified. I think the word is. I'm hoping that the one day I'll find something that can reverse it, and I intend on going back and and freeing my wife and son.
Yeah.
That's why. It's part of
You
the
know
reason
what,
why I'm
kid?
here.
I'll add that to the list, alright?
The caravan.
Don't know if I can do anything about it, but there's a lot of things I'm trying to work on, so.
The guard nods, and you seem like a good soul, Mistress Sprite. Whenever you find your home, I'm sure they'll be delighted by your return. He takes a deep breath, and he coughs and kind of discreetly wipes his nose with his knuckle. And you, young keeper, you we don't see many of you in these parts. What happened to you?
First off, at being sort of addressed, Addie suddenly looks up, and that sort of trance-like state that she's in, she just shakes her head and kind of almost comes back to herself and looks at her notebook and then shakes again and closing. I'm sorry, what did you say?
What were you doing when the eschaton started?
You know, fire and brimstone and oh, it was terrible and the world spirits and then she sighs because she realizes she's been caught off guard and she can't think up a lie. So she goes, honestly, it mostly passed us by. Our tribe deep in the Grove forest. We barely knew the war was on until afterwards, until scouts had come back and told us of the devastation, and you'd think that'd be a blessing, but it wasn't, because, well, we're keepers. You'd think if anyone would have been party to the creation of the world spirits, it would be us. But we weren't. We were barely affected, and do you know what that's like, to feel forgotten, unacknowledged by your own gods? It tore us apart. It tore our tribe apart. You know, we'd been fed this story, this narrative our whole lives, that we were chosen, that we were the ones that would see the manifestation of the world spirits when it came, you know, that they would commune with us directly, and they didn't, and And now I'm here, and I'm supposed to be finding answers. I'm supposed to be finding answers for my tribe, and I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know why I'm here.
The guard kind of stops and kind of looks at, blinks at you a few times, and then there's this kind of look of kind of shocked realization on his face, and I never thought of it like that. I know that the world spirits were conjured by the mortals, but we thought that, well, I thought that was a lot to do with you and the keepers and everyone. That sounds terrible.
I really shouldn't even be discussing it, but I'm tired of lying. I'm tired of following this narrative that's been set out for me, especially when it just makes no sense anymore. How can our people be chosen when we weren't even acknowledged?
The guard kind of stops and, well, I mean, what are you keepers doing now? I mean, from what I understand, you were worshipping the world spirits alongside the world dragons long before the eschaton. But what? How does it work now?
Well, it's not working. When I say that the tribe was torn apart, maybe not physically, maybe not viscerally in the same way that families have been torn apart by the eschaton outside of our forests, but ideologically it's a mess. You know, the elders of our tribe who have spent their whole lives, teaching and learning and attempting to commune with the spirits and telling us that that's what they were doing, when clearly they weren't, and they had no clue that any of this was coming or happening. It turned to chaos. Some have doubled down on their faith and say that we're being tested and have broken off, and others, it just broke them completely and they wandered off in the forest, never to be seen again. The tribes are fractured. And then a few of us volunteered to go forth and find out answers, to be those few that ventured forth, and that's why I joined this expedition. But honestly, I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be telling you all this. I'm just tired of pretending to know what I'm doing.
We appreciate it, Daddy.
The guard nods alongside Comstock, and we do appreciate it. It's, from what I gather, kind of wanderlust among the keepers is a rare thing. So I guess we're all indebted to you for this strange wanderlust that seems to have gripped you.
The narrative is, it needs to be rewritten. And again, you sort of see that slight, for anyone who's watching, you see that slight trance-like glaze pass over Addie's eyes once more, and then she shakes it off again.
We'd have also all been mauled by a bear if you hadn't stepped in, so we all offer. We We all owe you our lives as well.
It does lead me to a question I wanted to ask you, Addy. What have you named the bear? I can't keep calling it bear.
I mean, we don't really give names to the creatures of the forest. I suppose I should probably the bear itself.
As you start to think about think about this and think of the name of the bear and whatnot, you kind of snapped out of your trance-like state to respond to Comstock and Milia, and as you think, oh, it should probably ask the bear, and then the three of you and the guard notice Addie's kind of eyebrows lift up, and for all intents and purposes, her ears perk up. And Addie, as you kind of sit up straight and kind of look around, because on the night air, you can hear a violin. A sole, single, melancholic violin emanating from around you, the trees, somewhere in the camp. And as you look to the others, and they're looking at you confused.
Do you mind if I excuse myself? I've got to go to the little keeper's room, and I sort of excuse myself and wander outside the circle of the camp.
Okay.
Trying to.
I think she's gone to ask the bear for its name.
But if there's anyone I think who can ask it for its name, I think it's our friend Addy there.
Which room is the keeper's?
It's more a figurative speech.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the latrines that we dug.
Real subtle, Comstock.
You all watch as Addie kind of hoiks herself up onto over the cart barricades, the caravan barricades. And Addie, as you kind of step out of the circle, and you can see your bear. I say your bear.
Playing the violin.
The bear.
That's what I was thinking.
And it's taken up residence next to one of the campfires, also next to what appears to be some sort of berry bush, which you notice is now deprived of has got significantly fewer berries than you suspect it did a short while ago. But as you kind of look over, you see a flicker of movement to your right, over in the direction of another one of the perimeter campfires, and through the dust and the sort of the flickers of the flame, you peer. It's difficult to see for the heat haze, but there appears to be a figure stood amongst the trees. And the more you focus on it, it's almost as if the violin noise is coming from it.
Is it a figure that is instantly recognizable?
It's difficult to say in the low light, when everything illuminated by the orangish hues of the campfires, but as you focus a bit more, the film seems to be taking more of a shape, and there's a moment where the figure's head turns and looks to you, and you feel like you can't help but deny the bright emerald green eyes. And as your eyes open, as you recognize the figure, a roar rips through the forest and the violin stops. And there's panic and commotion in the camp as this roar kind of rumbles the trees. You can hear creatures skittering and dashing in all directions. And as you look, the bear, which was kind of dozing off, kind of growls, sits up, and is looking around on, in sort of looking around in anger and surprise and shock. And as the night kind of goes quiet, you hear Haladras's voice boom out. "What was that?" she shouts out. And through the commotion, what did the four of you do?
I imagine Comstock's immediately up on their helmet on, like trying to look at what's going on.
Okay.
Can I look towards the bear, and is there a sense of recognition in hearing that noise? I want to see if there's a connection between that sound and
So the
great
bear
big
is
sharp
looking. Yeah,
claw.
the bear's great
Not
big
right.
head is swooshing from side to side, looking peering into the darkness. But the bond that you've started to create with this beast, you realise that it's scared.
Bit, and I sort of hoik it back over. And can I sort of communicate to the rest of the? It's coming. Whatever hurt the bear earlier, it's coming.
So as you hear this kind of panic and commotion, and you start shouting out, and you see Haladradas kind of stride round to your campfire, and "What's coming?" she demands. And as the guards kind of jump out, you hear the sound of like crossbows loading, and people are like, take cover, take position. Milia, what are you doing?
I'm not. Comstock, what's going on? Sir Comstock, I'm sorry. What's going on?
Not quite sure. Addy, what is it?
I don't know, but there's something wrong. It's not right.
Galena, what are you doing?
While everyone else is kind of getting up and preparing, I will pull yet another mysterious flask out of my robes. I uncork the stopper. Amelia is probably close enough to get the unmistakable waft of 80% grain alcohol.
Oh my god!
I'll glug down a good old, I don't know, half pint or so of it. Like, right. Do you want some, girl? You don't look great.
What was that? That smelled like what I used to clean mechanisms.
Oh, Sprite drink. You'll be fine. Just go easy on it. I'll offer you the bottle.
25
Thank you.
Constitution save.
Well, you gotta figure something out, okay? You've got this. You've been in bad situations before, okay, girl? Focus up.
So, as
I'll just-
you
Toss the rest of it on the ground and start running up to the battlements.
Sure. So as you kind of clamber up onto one of the carts alongside Comstock, Addy, the bear kind of moves alongside you. Amelia, you're kind of peering over. Like the forest goes quiet as like everyone shushes and just kind of gets ready, concentrating on peering out into the darkness, waiting for whatever made that noise to reveal itself.
Can I reach out and touch the bear and cast heroism?
Ah, yes. The
brave
bear you feel is shivering, and as you place a hand on it and the primal energies kind of pulse from you into it, the bear just seems to almost kind of relax under your hand, and the bear's head kind of turns to look as you hear the sound of a twig snapping off in the tree line, and as you kind of peer out, struggling to make out like roughly where that figure was stood on the other side of the campfire. You hear,
Hello, the camp! I've been tracking you for some time. My name is Victor, a lone huntsman. May I come in?
and with that, elsewhere.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A door opens, casting a small amount of light into a room illuminated by a sickly green glow. The glow emanates from a crystal held in a clawed hand. A deep, rumbling growl of happiness emanates from the figure holding the crystal fragment. What do you have to report? Master, it seems to have worked. The crystals have powerful transmutative qualities. Our prototype is on the loose. Let's see what sort of carnage it wreaks. A flash of sharp teeth reflect in the crystal's light. Good. Congratulations, everyone,
Ooh,
on completing session 2.
We did it.
You did it! Hey!
Okay.
So, yes, congratulations. We did a thing. And I wonder who this mysterious voice emanating from the tree line could be.
Strange
No,
and
he said his name was
mysterious.
Victor, but I
Yeah.
don't believe him.
Who the hell is
Wild
Victor?
Probably shouldn't trust him.
Yeah. I mean, there's no
Kill him
one
on
else
sight.
part of our group, is there? There's-
No, it's just us. So we will leave it there. If you liked what you saw, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to like the video and comment down below on who you think this Victor could be, and also on your favorite bits, because that's always fun to do, and it gives me good feedback on what was good and what could have been better. But yes, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep exploring.
Bye.
Bye bye bye
If you
bye.
Bye,
If
everybody.
you subscribe, I'll make the bear rap a real thing.
Ta-ra!
Bye.
With the camp in imminent threat from a yet unseen entity, what will come of our explorers and the expedition? Is the stranger Addy saw in the flames a friend or a foe? And who is this mysterious Laravar tracker, Victor? Catch the next episode to find out. A quick shout out to Birdie Maps for their incredible map used in this session. They made amazing art for the last campaign, and I'm looking forward to the maps we'll get to use going forwards. Make sure to check out the Birdie Maps Patreon if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit the like button and leave a comment down below on your theories and favourite bits. We've got lots of other videos like this one here, and you can keep up to date with new releases by subscribing here. Don't forget to also hit the bell icon for notifications. And so, with all that said, thank you once again for watching. Stay safe and keep exploring.